NBA players have secret family members that you've never heard about, and sometimes they didn't even know. And that's exactly what happened to NBA player Jalen Rose. See, growing up, Jalen was mysteriously good at basketball. So he always wondered, why did the game come so naturally? Well, it turns out Jalen's father was an all-star NBA player, but Jalen didn't know that. In fact, he didn't even know he had a dad. Jalen's family kept all of this a secret for years. Think about that. Your own father is in the NBA and you don't even know he exists. Why would they hide that from him? Well, his family knew that it would be hard to hear the truth. So they waited until they felt like he was ready. And that day came in 6th grade. They told him, Jalen, your dad already had a family before he met your mom. And when you were born, he chose them over you. But that wasn't enough. Jalen needed to know who this man was. And finally, they gave him an answer that he was not expecting. Jalen's father was the 1968 number 1 draft pick, Jimmy Walker. Man, family is just a complicated thing. I mean, did you know that LeBron James chose Chris Paul to be a part of his family? Yeah, back in 2003, LeBron and Chris Paul first met at the McDonald's All-American game. This is where the two got to play on a team together, and everyone immediately noticed that there was a bond between them. Even their coach, Rob Hecklins, had to comment on it, saying, on the first play of the game, Chris threw up an alley-oop to LeBron for a dunk, and I thought to myself, it looks like they've been playing together for 10 years. It was really cool to see those guys bond like that. You could see the chemistry developing between them as the game progressed and as the week progressed. And ever since they both made it to the NBA, they've been seen going out together, going on vacations, and LeBron even admitted, Chris was present at both of my child's births. So it's deep, it's beyond basketball. Now, Paul being at Bronny's birth is a lot more important than it seems, cause in that hospital room, LeBron officially made Chris Paul a part of his family, giving him the title Godfather of LeBron's first son, Bronny James. And Chris hasn't taken this title lightly. Clips have gone viral of him showing up to Bronny's games and mentoring him like an actual dad. Even if LeBron's not there, Chris will still show up solo to support his boy. That's dedication, man. It's pretty obvious LeBron made the right choice. Now, becoming the godfather of your best friend's son, that's one thing. But imagine making it to the NBA and then finding out that your teammate is related to you. Yeah, Tracy McGrady had a blood relative in the NBA on his own team that he didn't even know about. How is that even possible? Well, before entering the NBA draft, Tracy was invited to a family reunion in Atlanta. This is where his life changed forever. As soon as Tracy showed up, a woman he never met before came up to him, and she said she wanted to talk some sports with Tracy. And that's when she asked him if he dropped a like and subscribe to the channel, cause if he didn't, she was finna kick him out of the reunion. She said you ain't family if you're not subscribed. That's on game. Now luckily, Tracy was subscribed, and now that she knew he was part of the gang, she was ready to talk about family. And eventually, their conversation led to her asking whether or not he knew her grandson, Vince Carter. Little did she know, Tracy and Vince were already friends for years. They met playing pickup games in North Carolina, and this woman went on to explain that her father-in-law is the brother of Tracy's grandmother. Yeah, these family trees, they get hella confusing, man. Basically, this meant that Tracy and Vince are second cousins. But it gets even crazier. Tracy was drafted in 1997 to the Raptors with the 9th pick. Then the very next year, Vince was drafted to the Raptors with the 5th pick. So they both ended up on the same NBA team. These two grew up in different states, became star basketball players, and eventually best friends, all while not knowing that they're related. How does that even happen, man? It's like the craziest thing I've ever heard. Well, I thought it was the craziest thing I'd ever heard until I discovered what LeBron has been hiding from the world. I was watching a Lakers and Pelicans game recently, and that's when it hit me. LeBron James and Zion Williamson look exactly the same. I nearly shit myself when I realized this. So I started scouring the internet, looking to see if anyone else had noticed. And not a single person on planet Earth but me has seen this. Just look at these two. They have the same eyes, same nose, same smile. I even went out of my way and put LeBron's beard on Zion in Photoshop. And just look at what happens. I can't even tell who's who. There's only one conclusion that could possibly make sense. LeBron James is Zion's father. Oh man, I'm glad I got that off my chest. I need to calm down. Not now, Shakespeare. I'm letting the people know what's happening. All right, now it's time to talk about the brother you never knew Kobe had, Pau Gasol. This is one of the most beautiful stories I'll ever tell on this channel, and it starts back in 2008. When Pau Gasol was first traded to the Lakers, Kobe came knocking on his hotel door at 1:30 in the morning. And the first words Kobe said to him were, "Hey, very happy you're here, but now let's go win a championship." All right, think about that. You just got traded to a new team. You were forced to move to a new city. And all Kobe could say was, "Let's win a championship." The man straight business. But fast forward to 2010, and the two were coming off back-to-back championships together. And over this time, Kobe built a relationship with Pau that was deeper than basketball. The craziest part is, this friendship was completely hidden from the world. They didn't take selfies together, they didn't post about each other, but behind the scenes, Pau became Kobe's backbone, and eventually, the godfather to his kids. But this is where things become heartbreaking. January 26th, 2020. Pau was in Spain with his wife, driving home from dinner, when all of a sudden, the news had just hit the world. Kobe and Gianna Bryant were gone.
Good afternoon from New York. We're coming on the air with breaking news, very sad news to tell the sports world. The LA Times is reporting that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
Phone calls, text messages. Pau's phone completely blew up. And when he heard the news, he broke down into tears. Pau was devastated, but he knew there was one thing he had to do: fulfill his role as godfather. And he went on to explain what this meant for him, saying, "We just booked a flight to California. We decided we needed to be there. We didn't know if we were leaving for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, but we needed to be there. We wanted to be close to Vanessa and the kids, and be there as Uncle Pau for whatever they needed." And they ended up staying for months, doing whatever it took to help the family through this tragedy. On Vanessa and Kobe's 19th wedding anniversary in April, they sent flowers. On Gianna's 14th birthday in May, a birthday cake. Pau even took the family on a boat trip through San Francisco Bay in August, and spent Halloween with the family, getting dressed up as Star Wars characters. It was incredible. This man really stepped up to the plate, like a godfather should. And he wasn't doing it for the headlines. I mean, just imagine how much Pau did that the media never found out about. Then in late 2020, Pau decided to do the grandest gesture that he possibly could. He wanted to show how much he appreciated not only Kobe, but the Bryant family. When Pau's first child was born, he named his daughter after Kobe's. He said, "My daughter's full name is Elizabeth Gianna Gasol." It's a way not only to honor Gianna, but to always have her present. See, Pau was more than just an uncle or godfather to Kobe's daughter. He'd support Gianna by showing up to her games and being a father figure whenever Kobe couldn't. That's why their death is something that Pau will never get over. Alright, I know that that's a pretty tough section to get through. So, if you need a pick-me-up, I got you. Check out the most embarrassing moments in NBA history. And in this video, an NBA player literally pooped himself on live TV. So, if you need a laugh, just click on it, man.